What's going on, everyone? It is Pro Physique Coach Ben Berluti here with
Coach Delaney.
And today we're going to go over the reverse diet to maintain progress after a hard diet. All right, what's going on, everyone? Today, Coach Delaney and I are going to give you some tips on how you can maintain your progress after a cutting phase, whether that's a 90-day cut or however long you're going through a dieting phase. The reverse diet or having some kind of set plan is imperative so you can sustain your fat loss, right?
Absolutely.
So today I'm going to give you some nutrition tips. Coach Delaney has a lot of experience with personal training. In fact, we kind of have a unique perspective because we both do a lot of in-person coaching, right? We coach our clients online and in person. So we can give you some tips on that side of things too, because there are some very pertinent things to consider about training during a reverse diet phase. So let's start with nutrition. So when you are dieting, you are eating less than your maintenance calories, right? You're doing cardio to burn calories, put you farther in that deficit to drop body fat. You are tracking everything. You're using your tracking app. You're writing things down. You're being very rigid, very structured, right?
Right.
And that is how you lose 20, 30, 40 pounds, transform your body, right? That sort of thing. After the diet is over, it is super important to bring your calories up so that you can maintain your progress. And this may seem very scary at first. Oh man, am I going to gain a bunch of body fat? You're really not if you bring calories up in a controlled manner. And you could add the calories slower or faster. It's up to you. But it must be done, because what's going to happen? We may go back to our old ways, right? Our old habits that made us gain the body fat in the first place, right? So what I recommend my clients do, and then we touch base with our clients and go, hey, how are you feeling? Are you feeling really burnt out? Or you're like, no, I feel like I'm in a good place, but I do want to get a good plan here. Good, that's a good place to be. If you're feeling really burnt out, you want to add calories faster. These days, the cool people call that a recovery diet. That just means you're going to add a little bit of body fat a little bit quicker, but you are not going to gain all the weight back. And I talk about the net total weight loss after a diet, okay? And here's what I mean. Let's say, for example, you lose 30 pounds, which is incredible, right? If you go through a whole reverse or recovery diet phase and you gain 6 pounds back, your net total is 24 pounds in this example, right? And that is so much farther in front of where you were previously. If you didn't have a plan, we may end up back at that 30-pound starting point, right? So we want to implement those same habits, okay? So making your own meals at home, doing your food preparation, or at least planning. Oh, I've got a busy work day tomorrow. I'm going to be out for 10 hours. That means I need to prep and bring with me 3 meals or whatever the case may be, right? Like the same intentionality you had during the cut, you need during the reverse. So if you want to go with a reverse diet process, try adding 300-400 calories back into your routine that first week. This way, you're eating all the same foods. We're just eating more of them, right? Add some carbohydrates, add a little bit of dietary fat, right? The goal is to bring your hunger levels down. If you're feeling more satiated, chances are you're not going to start eating outside of your calorie and macro targets, right?
Correct.
So that's very important, right? So you could go slow. And then from there, you can make 50, 100 calorie bump ups week by week, right? That's going to take a little while to reach your new maintenance, because basically you're going to start adding calories and keep adding calories each week until you find that you're no longer dropping weight. Because that means you are now at maintenance, right? So maintenance, deficit, let's say I add 300 calories, that puts me still in the deficit, right? You start bumping them up incrementally each week. You could do that until you get to that point. If you're like, Ben, I'm so hungry. All I think about is food. I'm dreaming about food. I drive by the fast food place and I'm like rubbernecking as I drive by. Like, hey, we need to add calories faster, okay?
Right.
You may gain just a little bit more body fat. Totally okay. You're going to maintain a lot of progress, right? So now maybe we're adding, I gave the example, 300-400 calories. Maybe you add 800, 900 calories back. You may be thinking, that's extreme. It's really not, okay? That's when you're closer to your maintenance, right? Cardio, start pulling it back a little bit. Let's say you're doing steady state cardio, like incline treadmill walking, or the elliptical machine, or a jog outside, or something like that, or the stairs. Stairs is tough. Let's say you're doing 30-minute sessions. Hey, the first week, start with 20, 25-minute sessions, right? Let's say you're doing 5 of those a week. Maybe we're doing 4, right? So we're still doing a a good bit of cardio, but we're starting to pull back a little bit. A minimum I like to have my clients do at the end of a reverse diet phase, about an hour a week, maybe 80 minutes a week. That could be like 3 or 4 20-minute sessions. So we're doing enough to promote heart health,
right,
but not doing so much that we're in a deficit and now we're hindering our recovery in the gym, right? So let's recap the nutrition things. Bring those calories up. Eat a lot of the same foods. Foods you know work well for your body. Like for lunch every day, I was having, 100 grams of jasmine rice, 93.7 beef, a vegetable, and a condiment or two or something like that. Hey, maybe the first week you're having 200 grams, right? Like it's more of the same food.
Yep.
That way your digestion's in a good spot, keeps you in a good rhythm, keeps you structured, and you're maintaining your progress. So those are some general practical tips. Now, I mentioned before that we coach clients in person. Coach Delaney has a really cool perspective on training. And when it comes to reverse diet, there are some things to focus on that are really awesome to think about, right? During the reverse or the recovery diet, that phase, right? And what are some things that come to your mind that you like to kind of impart to your clients, Delaney?
So absolutely, this is a very important time to not only just focus on the nutrition, your mental side of things, but also really take advantage of the training piece side of all these things that you're going through as far as reversing the nutrition, adding more calories. This is a really great time to really dial in on progressive overload. So the same way that you're tracking your nutrition, track your workouts, track your progress, make sure that each week you're increasing in weight. This is a really awesome time too, that now you're giving your body more fuel and more energy to be able to work toward new strength goals. So keep progress of those things, add progressive overload, and make sure that you're reminding yourself in this process that you're giving your body more fuel to perform better.
Right, more fuel, perform better. That's the best way to put it, because when carbohydrates go up, our glycogen stores and our muscles get filled up more. Now we're getting awesome pumps in the gym. So I'm like, wow, I feel it more. Now we're got a better mind-muscle connection. You mentioned strength is going up. We're focusing on progressive overload. Write down your workouts or however you like to track your workouts. And this is an awesome time to build muscle. Think about this, guys. If you lose 5 pounds of body fat or you gain 5 pounds of muscle, what's going to do more for your physique? Gaining 5 pounds of muscle, guys, right? So if you go through a dieting phase, let's say you're not all the way at your ultimate physique goal, hey, go through reverse anyway. Give your metabolism a break. Give your psyche a break. 90 days is a great amount of time to be in the deficit because you could commit to anything for 3 months. Beyond that, it gets tough. So, lose weight, right? Do all those things that we talked about. Cardio, the calorie deficit, all that sort of thing. But continue to train hard. When you take a reverse phase, 3, 4, 5 months, whatever. Build some muscle, right? And then go to another dieting phase later, right? Treat it like a journey,
I was just going to say too, guys, dieting is not supposed to be a forever, and we don't want to downregulate our metabolisms. We want to make sure that we remember that every season serves a purpose. So give your body the amount of time that it needs. Make sure that you embrace the season that you're in, and remember that you're not behind. Everyone's on their own journey. And that's why you have people like me and Coach Ben in your corner to help support you along the way.
That's right. So we wanted to film this video to give you guys some practical tips as you start developing your plan going into your post-dieting phase. You could call it a reverse diet, a recovery diet, or just a plan to maintain your progress. So let's start planning now. Be intentional. You will crush your goals. If you want to reach out to Coach Delaney or myself, what's the best way to reach you, Coach Delaney? Your email?
Yeah, email is great.
All right, so Delaney@ProPhysique.com or Ben@ProPhysique.com. You guys can reach us anytime with questions. All right, bye now.